Culture clash and six bongs on the wall. I'm Mike Fisher, your trusty and trusted reporter. We are in Frisco, Texas, and we are live with your assistance. Get in, get on, be good. Bring something of intellect to the table like Kenny Smith has as he comes on into the Uncle Fish Club. Thank you, Kenny. 3 items on the fish for lunch, dinner, breakfast. Fish at 6. 3 items on the fish at 6 menu tonight. Item number 1, culture clash. Item number 2, why don't we give Dak Prescott just a little bit of NFC East respect, shall we? If you don't love Dak Prescott, that's fine. If you don't like Dak Prescott, you don't trust him, you don't think we're going to the Super Bowl, just some NFC East respect, please. And then item number 3. Boy, that Joe Milton, what a wild. No one. I watched it. It wasn't a wild. And away we go. Item 1. Schotty wanted to change the culture. I remember sitting there in the atrium for the big press conference the day he was hired. And he made a statement. And I mean, I wrote it down and then I underlined it and then I circled it and I put yellow highlighter over it. When Schotty said, straight dope, no bullsh, Jose. I want to create the greatest culture in sports history. I just thought, what planet are you on? First of all, I've never heard anybody say anything like that. That's a cool thing to say. But secondly, Schotty, you've been here 3 years. You know what the culture is here. You saw it. You didn't get much of a chance to impact it maybe, but you lived it. Now, Kurt S. points out, if you really want to change a culture, if you really want to have a culture, if you really want to be the culture, just win a game. Man, there's nothing like when you know you're good and you've been through the wars a little bit, the football wars, and so you rely on that guy and he relies on you. That's culture. You could do us against the world. That can be culture, but you better beat the world. You can do locker room against the coach. Doesn't last long. So there's ways. Schotty's way is to be real and sincere and hands-on and buying Whataburger and slapping fists and shooting free throws. And I'm not against it. I'm even going to argue that he's having an impact. Switching around the lockers, ping pong table, which, by the way, as I keep saying, they already had a ping pong table. They just moved it so the media could see it. And Schotty's, his action on the practice field, I mean, I saw it. He's talking the talk, he's walking the walk. CeeDee Lamb has talked a lot about it, not in a way that is meant to insult Mike McCarthy. That's been misunderstood. Dak Prescott has talked a lot about it. He's not insulting. Dak Prescott was not anti-Mike McCarthy. This isn't about Mike McCarthy anymore. It's about what we have now. Wanye Thomas, I think, put something on Twitter the other day about how, it's fun again or something. And now there's Cowboy fanboy sites that are like, he's ripping McCarthy. He didn't say that. I guess I'll ask Wanye Thomas on Thursday, did you hate McCarthy? That's not what he's saying. Just saying we're having fun. CeeDee Lamb talked about how there's almost a college atmosphere because we're so in love with the game. And he said, that's what we're feeling now. He also said, I'm happy that we're not doing too much talking on the internet. Let's just get some work done. Well, listen, CD, I can speak for 75,000 fish heads in Cowboy Nation right here. That resonates with this audience. You watching live right now, you watching over the course of the next few hours, the next few days, there'll be, between 10 and a billion people that watch this. And almost everybody will agree. Less squawking. But my theory is unchanged. And I've talked about it a lot. Not all of you love it. I think most of you that don't love it just don't want to accept it. Under Jerry Jones, and by the way, as you know, this is not bashing Jerry Jones. I don't just blindly bash Jerry Jones. Over the course of 35 years, I think I've been painted, probably accurately, as kind of pro Jerry Jones. And I'm comfortable with that. But I also tell the truth about him. He's marketing first. He's sales first. He's PR first. And through osmosis, other people in the building pick that up. Now, you know where that works? In the sales department. I'll tell you what. Now, this goes back some time. I haven't hung around the sales department in a while. But for a couple generations of Cowboys stuff I did, that was moving and shaking. They were on their toes all the time. The great Joe Finglass, Cowboy cheerleaders, who then moved into the sales department. I mean, boom, boom, boom. And it all came from the spirit of Jerry, because they saw he was doing it 20 hours a day. And so they did. Sugar Daddy, come on in here, DC for life. But that works in the sales department because Jerry's sales. Jerry being sales doesn't translate to the locker room as football players. It translates to the locker room as salesmen and marketing guys and Instagram models. And I'm kind of an influencer. That's it. And through osmosis, you start thinking, why wouldn't I just do it Jerry's way? Because Jerry's way is the Cowboys' way. I love the idea that CeeDee Lamb's comment on the internet is the start of a change. I'm all for what Schottenheimer's trying to do. I'm just cautioning you to recognize through all the shoddy hype, and that's good. It's fun. He's been here for how long? February, March, 3 months? Schotty's not changing 30 years of franchise behavior in 3 months. It's impossible. So don't expect it. I don't have to caution you about being let down about the football team. That's part of the sport. Why do the Cowboys always let me down? The same reason almost every team lets their fans down almost every year. But this is different. Spiral Mind, Mr. Mac. I wrote Commissioner Roger Goodell a nice email with a $10 pitch and suggesting that they move Dallas to the AFC South. He said, I'm working on it. Spiral Mind, very clever and funny. That may have happened. If you could just get out of, especially now, if you could just get out of this division, people wouldn't think you were mediocre. And Dak would dominate if he was in the AFC South. That much is true. All you should want is for the main thing to be the main thing. And you know it's not, or hasn't been. What I've petitioned for, and now it's Schotty. Let Schotty and Will do the football, and Steven, and Jerry and Charlotte and PR and sales and marketing, you do the other thing. And rarely shall the twain meet. A separation of church and state. Hey, I can dream, can't I? I can dream. Read, the Cowboys are their own entity. With or without Jerry, this team will never be only football. But can't it be a separation of church and state? Item 2, New York Giants site recently ranked the NFC East quarterback situations. And they put the Giants ahead of the Cowboys. This is quarterback situation. Do what now? They have Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Jackson Dart. Russell Wilson, who has done some things in his career, but not good enough that the Steelers wanted to keep him around. The Steelers right now would rather have decided, basically, we'd rather have Mason Rudolph than Russell Wilson. Jameis Winston is a hoot. He doesn't win football games. Jackson Dart is a prospect. And none of those three guys have ever done anything in the NFC East. The reasoning for this Giants fan site to put Dak and the Cowboys quarterback room below theirs is because of his money. Let's make sure we understand something about Dak Prescott and his $60 million per year. Once they blow the whistle, that's got nothing to do with nothing. Once the game starts, it doesn't matter how much Jameis Winston makes, or how much Will Grier makes, or how much Joe Milton makes, or how much Jackson Dart makes. That has nothing to do with Sunday. This site brings up the fact that Dak's 31. How old's Russell? How old's Jameis? I will give the Giants this. They have a potential quarterback of the future in Jackson Dart, who is a first-round pick, and Dallas doesn't have that. Joe Milton, who we'll get to in a minute, doesn't qualify for that in the same way. But they are citing being cost-effective as being a reason for the Giants quarterback room to be better than the Dallas quarterback room, and cost doesn't matter, especially if the cost of being cost-effective is that you win 3 games or 5 games, which is what the Giants keep doing. Dallas has one quarterback with big-time credentials. And a minute ago, he threw for 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, and finished second in MVP voting. Guys, you don't have to love him. We got to quit ignoring that he finished second in MVP voting a year ago. It's not fair. It's not smart. And regarding specifically the Giants, and we'll get into Dak and the NFC at large. Dak Prescott, I think his record against the Giants all time is 15-2. And you're telling me that Giants fans wouldn't trade rooms? You get your ass kicked by Dak Prescott every time he plays you. So Prescott takes over in 2016. His record in the NFC East is 33-8. Now again, like him, love him. Worry about him. Think that he's not going to win you a Super Bowl. Quit ignoring 33-8. This might be the most competitive division in football. If the Cowboys are good, it's the most competitive division in football, for my money. Surge in Washington. Up and down Giants, who think they have a better quarterback situation than you do, and the defending champions. And the Eagles are the best team in football again right now, as far as I'm concerned. Jalen Hurts in the NFC East is 16-9. That's good. It's like half as good as Dak. Jaden Daniels in the division is 4-2. That's good. It's a pimple on the butt of Dak Prescott's record. And nobody in Washington has ever done anything in the NFC East. Dak is the king of this division. Does that get him up and over Lamar and Patrick and Allen? Don't know. Never been there. Dak Prescott is the king of this division. And that's why he remains your best chance to win. And in the NFC East, you have a really good chance to win in the NFC East. Item 3. I'll be at practice on Thursday. I watched practice last week. And then out of practice, now I'm seeing all these reviews from people who weren't there. saying that Joe Milton was wild. It was wild. I watched it. I watched everything he did. There's nothing wild. Dak was the starting quarterback. He did, surprisingly, all the things. Will Grier took his turn, and then Joe Milton acquired in a trade, basically a 6th-round pick with New England, a flyer on Joe Milton. And I'll tell you what, he's big. He's tall and he's big. Sean Stevenson, Uncle Fish Premium for 17 months in the straight dope level. Fish, we have a really good chance to have a strong running game this year. That should help Dak in the passing game. And you have a really good chance of having a strong passing game, like ×2. Son of John, $10 pitch in. Uncle Fish, I would like to ask if you would devote some some time, as to why a true Cowboy fan should avoid the trend of bashing and blaming Dak for everything. He's not in control of everything. I can give you the answer, Son of John. This is as old as time itself. In pro football, it's the owner, the coach, and the quarterback. In fact, it goes all the way back to high school football. It's the quarterback. I guess there it's the principal, the coach, and the quarterback. When the team wins, the quarterback gets elected homecoming king. It doesn't even matter if he's any good. If the team wins, he's the quarterback. Touch the ball on every snap. He's homecoming king. He gets the girls, gets the money, gets the ride on the float. It's the way it is when you're 17. It's the way it is when you're 31. That's not a Cowboy phenomenon. You could do the same thing. Like let's do the Giants. That was all Daniel Jones's fault? Not even close. Not even close. So Dak Prescott gets all the rewards for being the quarterback of America's team. He's got the money. He's got the house. He's got the rep. He's got the ability to set up charities, which is wonderful. He's got the Instagram girl. Got a beautiful it's a beautiful life for Dak Prescott because you're the quarterback. And when you lose, you get the stuffing kicked out of you. That's the answer, Son of John. I've got Joe Milton down as the Cowboys' 3rd-string quarterback. If he ends up something more than that, it'd be awesome. That you turned a 6th-round pick into a number 2 quarterback, that's fantastic. That you turn a 6th-round pick into somebody that you're going, he could be a starter in the NFL someday. That's incredible. Not my prediction, because it's just so incredible. Shouldn't be anybody's prediction. But a cautionary note, and this is the value, and I appreciate the Cowboys letting me poke my head in to practice as we've been doing around here for 35 years. This is a long process to get the former Tennessee quarterback, Bazooka Joe. I don't think he likes the nickname, but it's good. He can throw it 85 yards. He's 6'6". He can run. He can throw. Lance Zierlein, the NFL.com scout guy, when he was coming out, rare physical specimen. Lacks timing, lacks accuracy, lacks touch. Gifted with a cannon. Fastball sometimes inaccurate. He can put jaw-dropping highlights on tape, but he's never been able to mature his game from splashy to consistent. That's fair. And to my eye, that day, and we'll see again Thursday, not that much has changed. Those things are still being worked on. But there's nothing surprising about it. There's nothing wild about it. I said that day from the start to you, there was a throw where, guys opened 50 yards downfield. He threw it 70. He overthrew the guy by 20 yards. Really? That's not great. That's also not unusual. It's not wild. It's not crazy. I'll close with this. Willy Wonka has a lot to say about Dak. Why do you think that a football fan looks like a fool because he believes in his team and then they don't win the Super Bowl? Willie, God bless you. That's not foolish. That's football. That's not slapdickery. That's sports fandom. Right now in the NBA playoffs, according to you, the Knicks and the Timberwolves are poised to look foolish. No, it's not foolish. One team wins and one team loses. And I'm not here to guard your heart. You're a big adult, Willy Wonka. You're an adult. Well, I mean, your name's Willy Wonka. Maybe you are a grown-up kid. You're an adult. I don't need to protect your heart. Go love what you love. Ride the roller coaster. At the end of the roller coaster, you get off. And maybe you won the Super Bowl or maybe you didn't. There's nothing foolish about volunteering to ride the roller coaster. That's fun. There's nothing foolish about saying, you know what, I'm going to watch a soap opera and get into it. Or a docuseries or anything else that takes you for a ride. That's not foolish. That's fun. Fish out.